Washington President Trump on Monday officially designated North Korea as a state sponsor of terrorism, a provocative diplomatic move that he said was aimed at drastically increasing pressure on the rogue nation to abandon its pursuit of nuclear weapons. North Korea will join Sudan, Syria, and Iran as countries that the State Department identifies as those that have repeatedly provided support for acts of international terrorism. Should have happened a long time ago, Mr. Trump told reporters at the start of a cabinet meeting at the White House. The president said the designation will be followed on Tuesday by the highest level of sanctions against Pyongyang to force the end of the development of its nuclear and ballistic missiles. Mr. Trump has vowed to seek complete denuclearization in North Korea and has threatened fire and fury aimed at the country if it endangers the United States. This year, the president ordered an end to the policy of strategic patience that was pursued by President Barack Obama, in the hopes that North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un, would eventually agree to negotiate. This just continues to tighten the pressure on the Kim regime, Secretary of State Rex W. Tillerson said after Mr. Trump's announcement, all with an intention to have him understand that this is only going to get worse until you are ready to come and talk. Still, it is unclear whether the terrorism designation will give the President and the Secretary of State new and powerful leverage to force nuclear negotiations or simply deepen the war of words between Mr. Trump and Mr. Kim. Long a pariah in the international community, North Korea was put on Washington's list of state sponsors of terrorism in 1988 after Pyongyang's agents planted a bomb on a South Korean passenger jet, killing all 115 people aboard. In 1987, that attack was instructed by Kim Jong-il, the father of Kim Jong-un, according to one of the agents, who was caught alive. North Korea was removed from the official State Department terrorism list nearly 20 years later by President George W. Bush, who in 2008 saw it as an opportunity to salvage a fragile nuclear deal in which North Korea would agree to halt its nuclear program. Mr. Bush's decision to take the country off the list was part of a package deal, one that was opposed vociferously by Vice President Dick Cheney, in which Pyongyang agreed to move toward denuclearization in return for coming off the list and receiving some limited international aid. North Korea blew up a giant cooling tower at its main nuclear reactor at Yongbyon, and invited CNN in to record the event, appearing to declare that it had reversed course and was willing to give up the nuclear path. It was not the cooling tower, was a decrepit part of a falling apart facility. And the next steps proved far harder for Kim Jong-il, who was the country's leader at the time. His government refused to own up to its past, and would neither declare to nuclear inspectors how much nuclear fuel Pyongyang had produced, nor what it had done with uranium enrichment equipment. John R.